Welcome back. So now you guys know a lot about how to use functions. Let's try and go a bit further where we kind of try to build a full-featured REST API on top of the function setup. Now I'll make an entire series about this, so I'm just going to do it for the add product because right now we actually have to do still, in my mind, too many requests from Angular to take care of creating a product. Now we got rid of this part where we kind of sent the metadata for the file first, get a response, and then we sent the actual file. We got rid of that part, but what if we could just make a single request that took care of actually creating both the product and the actual file plus metadata in a single request? And we can actually do that using creating a small REST API that we can then call from Angular to take care of it all in a single request. So that's what we're going to try and build in the upcoming lessons. Now I also want to mention that I could actually do it right now if I decide to send some extra metadata on the file with all the product information, and that could solve it just with Firebase Functions and nothing else. Let me try and show you what I'm talking about right here. If I jump into my upload new product right here, you'll notice that I have this metadata for the original name for the file. I could actually, inside the metadata for the file, I could add all information about product, all the information about anything I want to save, but it would be kind of polluted in this metadata, and there would be a lot of knowledge you would have to just be aware of to kind of do it this way. And I don't think it's a good direction to go in, because as the product grows you'll have to send more and more metadata information, but it is possible. So you could actually send all the product information inside the metadata like we did in Angular for our original name right here. So if I jump into the app and I open my file, I'll show you guys how we did it for the name. So right now when I'm sending and creating a new file, you'll notice right here I actually add some custom metadata, and here we could of course just start passing in product information or product metadata, right? And I could add that as an object right here and send that as well, and then unwrap it all and create the product when I create the file. But again, I don't think it's not an easy, intuitive way to create a new product that you have to send up a file every time to create a product, right? Because in this setup I have to send a file or else I'll never create a product, because that's kind of what triggers all of the work on Firebase. So what I'll do instead is I'll make a REST API. Now we already started out with making a very simple REST call that said hello world, right? If you guys remember, it was just a simple HTTP request that just said hello world. What we are going to do is we're going to extend that now. We are going to try and create a full REST API so that we can start doing full CRUD. Let me try and jump into my good old friend Postman right here. Go and get it if you don't have it and you want to work with some HTTP request testing. So my goal right here is going to be me creating a post request where I kind of just send in the actual link for my application on Firebase /products, or actually I'll go even further, I'll say /API version 1 /products to kind of be able to change versions of my API later on. So this is the link I'm going to call for actually creating a new product. And then in that request I'm going to pass in the body, the name of the product, the image for the product, and then that will be created. The image will be saved on storage, and I'll also send in the metadata right here all the way in the bottom right now. I'll send all the metadata for the picture, like name, type, size, and then I'll use that with an HTTP client in Angular to make the request for creating new products, right? So I'll kind of show you here how easy it is for you to combine Firebase for actually reading data with creating a REST API, and now I'm doing it on Firebase, but it could be anywhere. It could be a .NET Core REST API, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to combine it now with having a REST API that I'll communicate with to create stuff, and then another API which is going to be Firebase with Angular 2 to kind of get information. So now we're going to start working with two different access points to our data set.